Hello, and once again, we are live with the Modern Mystery School UK and EU podcast and YouTube channel. Today, we welcome back the lovely Jackie. How are you, Jackie?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very excited, as always, to find out a little bit more about your experience in the class called Journeys of the Spirit. And for those that are just tuning in and not sure what that class is, it's a full day, and you know what it's a class of meditation, of journeying, and we're collecting keys that help and support us in our everyday life. And it is a prerequisite for Healers Academy, but it's actually open to anybody. So anybody can come to this class. And so I would like to find out from you, number one, why did you choose to go to this class? And number two, was it what you expected?
Okay. All right. So I chose to go to Journeys of the Spirit because I got an email about Healers Academy and I said, I have to go. And then kind of afterward, I found out that there were prerequisite classes. And so I did them like in a little short period of time right before Healers Academy. And honestly, I think like a lot of modern mystery school classes, I wasn't exactly sure what I was getting into. I heard Journeys of the Spirit. I thought, okay, Journeys of the Spirit. And I had some sort of inkling that maybe it was like a tough class or something that was going to be hard for whatever reason, but I wasn't exactly sure why. And then I talk a lot sort of in my practice about how I used to be a really bad meditator. And Journeys of the Spirit is a full day basically of in and out meditation. And it was long for sure. It's a full day, but I really liked it because it was like every meditation that you go into, you get a piece that's new. And I think that actually it's one of the classes that's been the most impactful for me over time because you get stuff out of Journeys of the Spirit that you don't realize you get in the moment. And then maybe 6 or 8 months down the line, something happens and you're like, oh, that makes sense now. This happened in my journey, or I remember this thing from my journey. And it's kind of cool because you get information about like maybe the elements that you work the best with or feel the most natural to you, and like your balance of your feminine and masculine, which is really interesting. And you really get to know your higher self.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really great way to describe it. Is you don't get everything on the day. Maybe it's a class that keeps giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. It's like, whoa, and it's so funny because it is open to everyone and it's just one day, but yeah, it is so jam-packed with so much. It's just incredible. And so for me, that when I did it, I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting it. So you mentioned about being it being a little bit like a tough day. Now, when you say that, can you expand a little bit more? Did you feel like, because I know sometimes these days are are challenging, but then it's something that we're going to overcome. It's that
Oh,
kind
absolutely. Yeah, it wasn't the type of day where like, I don't know, I'm at the university right now, so maybe it's the reason that I'm thinking about it in the terms of like class. But when you go to like a really difficult class and you learn a lot in that moment, and you kind of have to go home and be like, okay, what did I learn today? And then it goes, and maybe after a few days, you revise your notes, you think about it a little bit, and then everything makes sense. It's that kind of hard. It's like an okay, I received a lot today, and I don't really know what it all means quite yet. It's that kind of hard. It's not like any other kind of hard.
Yeah, it's so fun, isn't it? And what I also liked about it is that, as you said, I noticed that my meditation practice afterwards was so much better, so much easier. So can you expand a little bit on that and share a little bit more about
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that when I was maybe one of a few lucky people who got to do sanctuary meditation, like before taking any classes and before doing Empower Thyself, because it's something that you're normally handed down in Empower Thyself. Because I started doing meditations during COVID time, and I went to sanctuary, and my first experience was so powerful and so deep and so interesting. And it was a journey. I mean, it was an experience. And when something is an experience, and it was so rich, like I really felt like I got so much out of it. But then I learned how to do sanctuary meditation on my own, and I wasn't super confident that I knew how to do it. I wasn't super confident in like my abilities as a meditator. And Journeys of the Spirit like really just nipped that in the bud because you spend so many hours meditating and you do the same process so many times that, I mean, the same process but with different meditations so many times, that by the end of the day, if you don't know how to go to your sanctuary, like you know how to go to your sanctuary, you know how to do it. And it can become a really rich and really easy experience. And then it's something you can kind of pop into and pop out of whenever you want.
I agree. And for that, I think one of the most valuable tools I have is the ability to go to my higher self and connect to my higher self. And sometimes this gets overlooked or maybe left to the side. Or like you said, people, maybe you're not confident enough, or, many different reasons. And I think for me, Journeys of the Spirit was the thing that cemented it. And I was able to then connect in to my higher self very quickly and very efficiently. It's almost like it opened the supercharged gateway up there, and so that in itself, because having that connection to your higher self, it brings so much clarity, so much you have access to so much. So that's really a really great point that you bring up there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so crucial and so important. And like even now, I mean, I have so many tools and I go back over and over and over again to my sanctuary to get whatever answer is, there, but maybe not quite there. So
Yeah, it's
yeah.
amazing. And also I know this, the collecting the keys part is so cool because like you mentioned, that these keys are actually to help us in our everyday life. It's not just up here where, let's just, be up here and have a nice time, and which is all really great and, whatever. Actually, these keys help us to be successful in everyday life.
Well, I was actually really surprised when I did Journeys of the Spirit the first time. I've now audited several times. It's one of my favorite activities. I'll talk about it forever. But I was surprised because so many of my keys were like everyday tools, like a pen or a yoga mat or, like silly things that you're kind of like, this is like not a really pretty thing to put on my altar, but okay. And yeah, then you see those things and you work with them in your daily life, and it sort of jogs your memory back to the sanctuary and back to exactly what that key is representative of and what it's doing for you.
It's the true magic, isn't it? It's the true magic of really understanding thyself, which is, it is amazing. I highly recommend this to everybody, actually, even if you're not an initiate yet, which is it's open to everybody. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I do too, for sure, for sure.
Thank you
It's a good
so
one.
much. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your insights in that. We really appreciate it. We always love having you on the show, and You know, I know you're busily doing your PhD, and you've just kind of just carved out little room for us here. So we appreciate it. We appreciate it. And yeah, we'll hope to have you back on the show soon, sharing more insights.
I'm sure I'll be back. Thank you for always having me.
Ah, lovely. And take care, everyone. If you want to attend a Journeys of the Spirit class where you can really get to know your sanctuary and your higher self and collect all these amazing keys, then get in touch with your guide. If you haven't got a guide, your life activation practitioner, or if you haven't got that, then just email us and we'll connect you with the nearest teacher of Journeys of the Spirit. Take care for now. Bye-bye.